Assalamualaikum my dear student, welcome to today's biology class. Today we are going to talk about some topic from chapter 4 bioenergetics. Mainly today we are going to focus on respiration. But before going for further details information about respiration, let me introduce myself. I am Afrina Rahman, a senior teacher of Milestone School and College from sector 4 branch. So let's start our class. So my dear student, now we will talk about respiration. Respiration, what is respiration? Whenever anyone asks you about respiration, the main idea that comes to your mind is inhaling oxygen and exhaling carbon dioxide. But that is breathing. Other than breathing, there are so many things which is involved in respiration. So how can we exactly define respiration? Respiration is a process or the process of inhaling oxygen with which the digested food substance in the body cells are oxidized and it converts the potential energy into kinetic energy and eliminate carbon dioxide is called respiration. So you can easily see I have identified the important portion, which means whenever we are inhaling oxygen, it helps to digest the food substance that we eat, and as well as it convert the potential energy, the stored energy into kinetic energy, which means store energy into usable energy, and it also helps in the elimination of carbon dioxide, and this whole phenomenon altogether is called respiration. So let me give you an easy example. Like if we eat different type of food in our regular life, like carbohydrate, fruits, vegetables, protein, and sometimes fat and oil, sometimes always fat and oils. Even we eat a lot of fast food. The food that we intake, what they actually do, they actually help us to give the energy, or they actually produce energy. That energy is required to fulfilling our activities, daily activities. For example, now you are playing, you want to play in the playground. So to play the football match, you need to have some kind of energy within your body. You can't fulfill your regular activities without energy. So this energy is produced from this food. And how this food is actually converted into energy? The process by which this food convert into energy with the help of oxygen is called respiration. Okay? I hope now all of us understand what respiration actually is. Now I am going to talk about two types of respiration. So types of respiration. Depending on the oxygen availability, either the oxygen is present or absent during this process, respiration can be divided into two types. One is aerobic respiration and number two is anaerobic respiration. So try to remember that aerobic respiration always happens in presence of oxygen, and it always occurs in case of higher class animals and plants. And if you talk about anaerobic respiration, it occurs if there is any deficiency of oxygen or absence of oxygen. It mainly happens in case of microorganism or virus. Okay my dear student, now we will talk about aerobic respiration. So what is aerobic respiration? The respiration process that takes place in presence of oxygen is called aerobic respiration. Mainly when the oxygen is present in the environment, this type of respiration process occurs. And aerobic respiration is the typical respiration process that all the animals and plants follow. As a human, we actually do this aerobic respiration process. So this is the reaction of aerobic respiration, where we can easily understand what actually happens. So this is glucose, the carbohydrate type of food that is produced in plant body with the help of photosynthesis process, and the carbohydrate type of food that animal intake as their food. And this glucose will be broken with the help of oxygen, which means in presence of oxygen, with the help of oxygen, and it will give us, or after the reaction, it will give us carbon dioxide, water and energy. So by aerobic respiration process, a large amount of energy is produced. If you convert it or express it in kilocalorie per mole, it is 686 kilocalorie, and if you want to express it in ATP, as ATP is the biological coin or energy coin, so if you express it in ATP, it is 38 ATP energy which is produced by aerobic respiration. And this large amount of energy actually helps plant and animal to fulfill their regular activities, the daily activities that they do. Okay my dear student, now we will talk about the second type of respiration process, which is anaerobic respiration. So the respiration process that takes place in absence of oxygen or in deficiency of oxygen is called anaerobic respiration. So this is the reaction of anaerobic respiration, where we can see glucose is breakdown with the help of different type of enzyme, and it is converted into, and the reaction actually gave us ethyl alcohol, carbon dioxide and energy. If you see the reaction very carefully, you will see that the amount of energy is really less compared to aerobic respiration. So this anaerobic respiration is a respiration process that is mainly followed by the microorganism, yeast, virus, bacteria. They actually do this type of respiration where they have no oxygen, and might be they are lacking of oxygen. In those cases, they actually produce ethyl alcohol or lactic acid. Okay, dear student, now we will know about aerobic respiration and their stages. As we already know what is aerobic respiration, the respiration process that takes place in presence of oxygen. So aerobic respiration can be divided into 4 stages. What are the stages? First one is glycolysis, second one is acetyl-CoA formation, third one is Krebs cycle, and last one is electron transport system. Now we will talk about all of those 4 stages one by one. So first, let us talk about glycolysis. So what is glycolysis and what actually happens in glycolysis? Glycolysis is the first stage for both aerobic and anaerobic respiration, because there is no oxygen that is required in this stage. This stage mainly occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell. So what actually happens in glycolysis? In glycolysis stage, the glucose type of food actually breaks down into 2 mole of pyruvic acid. Okay, so glucose break down into 2 mole of pyruvic acid, and in this process they gave us, along with 2 pyruvic acid, they also gave us produce 4 ATP and 2 NADH2. But whenever they are doing this reaction or division of pyruvic acid, 2 ATP is used. 2 ATP is used during this process. So this is our glycolysis. Now we will talk about the second stage, which is acetyl-CoA formation. This stage also occurs in the cytoplasm of the cell. What actually happens in acetyl-CoA formation? In acetyl-CoA formation, from pyruvic acid, the acetyl-CoA will form. Okay, acetyl-CoA will form. So each side will be same. Pyruvic acid, acetyl-CoA is formed. During this process, they also produce some amount of carbon dioxide and also 1 molecule of NADH2. Okay, and this will be our product which we calculate at the very last of our flow chart. Now stage 3, if we talk about stage 3, which is Krebs cycle, here the process will enter into mitochondria. So from stage 3, 4, these 2 process or these 2 stages will complete in mitochondria, and here they will produce the maximum amount of energy. That is why mitochondria is called the powerhouse of cell. So what actually happens in Krebs cycle and why it is called Krebs cycle? First of all, let us know why it is known as Krebs cycle, because there is a scientist called Sir Hans Krebs who actually invented this cycle. So during due to his name, we actually call this cycle Krebs cycle. So in Krebs cycle, from acetyl-CoA we get carbon dioxide. And along with carbon dioxide we also get 3 mole of NADH2, 1 mole of FADH2 and 1 mole of GDP. So each side the product will be same. In one side the product is 3 mole of NADH2, 1 mole of FADH2 and 1 mole of GDP. So in the both sides the product will be same. And along with this we also get 1 mole of carbon dioxide. So this will be our ultimate product. Now in the last stage, which is electron transport system, in this stage we are going to accumulate all our products. Okay, so now we will talk about the last stage of aerobic respiration, which is stage 4, electron transport system. In this stage, all the product that is produced above 3 stage will combine here, which means the ATP, the NADPH2, the GDP, which is produced in above 3 stage, those will be combined here, and with the help of the electrons, it will be converted into ATP, which will be used as our energy point, or it will be stored in animals or plants body. And let me remind you, this stage also take place in mitochondria. Okay, so in this stage, or at the last of this stage, our product will be carbon dioxide, water and ATP. Okay, energy. If I talk about the amount of energy in aerobic respiration, a large amount of energy is produced which helps to fulfill our daily activities. If you can express it in ATP, it is 38 ATP, but if we express it in kilocalorie per mole, it is 686. So I already told you this number is quite important for your MCQ, so you have to memorize this number so that you can get it. Okay, so that's all from the stages. So the 4 stages that we learned, let me remind all of those once again to you. Glycolysis, acetyl-CoA, Krebs cycle and electron transport system. Now we will talk about today's homework. Okay, my dear student, I hope all of you understand today's lesson. So now we will talk about today's homework. So these are 4 questions that you need to learn at your home. Okay, so first question is, write down the chemical formula of pyruvic acid. Second, define respiration, which means definition of respiration. Number 3, write down the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. And make sure you learn at least 5 main difference between aerobic and anaerobic. And last question is, describe glycolysis. It means, what do you understand by glycolysis? So thank you everyone for joining the class and listening to me. So inshallah we will talk about some other topic in some other class. Till then, take care and try to stay safe.